Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hey Guys. This time we're going to do some automata simulation setups. We're going to put a cam into our automata simulation file. This is for project 4.5 in PLTW. Alright, so you're going to go to Open, and you're going to find where you have your automata simulation files, and you're going to open this file right here. It's the one with the 3 blocks on the side called Automata Simulation. You're going to open that. And we got to wait for it for a second. And usually this comes up that some things have been modified or updated. Just say yes. And there it is. And you can see that we have the simulation. We can turn the crank. And we want to put some cams in there, so I'm just going to go up here into the upper left hand corner. If you've noticed so far on Inventor, almost every place you start is all the way over to the left. So I'm going to use the hex cam test. It came up for me automatically. Oh, it's not in that file. Go to this, and hex cam test. And click OK. Now you'll notice that it comes in turned so that it is parallel with the box, and that is not what I want. I want this to sit in there perpendicular to the axis. So before I click on anything, I'm going to right click, rotate 90 degrees, and now that looks good. Now if I click once, left click, and I pull away, you'll see I could place a second one if I wanted. Well, I don't want a second one, so I'm just going to right click now, say OK, and I've got my cam with all the proper planes and axes that I need, and so now I'm going to get started. Alright, so go to constrain. We're going to use a mate constraint. We're going to mate this work plane to this work plane, and don't worry about where it ends up. All that does is that puts these two planes together, so it's now operating on one plane. And then click apply. And we're going to go over here to the axis. We're going to click on that axis. Going to click on the axis of the axle. So if you can't see it very well, go in there, make sure you got it, click apply. Let me zoom back out a little bit. That looks good. All right, one more constraint, and that is going to be this work plane. Now if you go over to your cam, if you're having a hard time finding that one, the second work plane you made, they call theirs angle of rotation, is that work plane that you want. You can click on it over here, and I actually recommend that you do. And then you're going to constrain that to the work plane, that big huge work plane that goes through the handle, and then click apply. Now what you should be able to do, you should be able to turn the handle up. I accidentally double clicked on something. Turn the handle, and the cam should rotate with your axle. Alright, now for the next part, I'm going to turn off the visibility on my box because my box is in my way. So I right click on box in the browser, go down to visibility, turn off the visibility. Now I'm also going to, while I'm here, I'm going to go to the axle handle, and this big work plane right here, I don't really need that anymore, and it's going to be in my way in a little bit. So selected the wrong one, and I'm going to turn off that work plane too. Alright, so I'm going to pull the handle up, or the follower up a little bit, come over here to the view cube, go to the bottom, zoom in, grab my constraint. This time it's a transitional constraint. Now it's important to click on the bottom of the follower first, and then you're going to click on one of the outside surfaces of your cam. Make sure you're not grabbing something else, and click apply. Now what happens when we zoom out, we turn the handle, is that the follower goes up and down. Now for the last part of this constraining, we're going to lock this handle in so that we have to apply an angle to get it to turn. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to go to constrain, I'm going to grab the angle constraint and a directed angle. Now here's where you have to be really careful that you're selecting the right thing. If you select the wrong thing, you're going to get an error. So what I did was I went over to the follower, I went to the origin, and I opened up the origin folder. And then I'm looking, and what I'm looking for is the XZ plane. So I'm going to click that plane, and then I'm going to click the work plane that's perpendicular on the cam, and I'm going to lock those two together, right? And then hit cancel. Now the reason, that was why I turned off the plane on the handle, because if I constrain it to the handle, sometimes it causes problems for me. But if I constrain it to this work plane here, it usually works okay. Now to change the angle, I'm going to go over here to this angle constraint that I just put on there. I'm going to hit edit. When this dialog box opens, I'm going to change that degree to 30 degrees. You'll see that it already moved, and I'll just click OK. Alright, so now we know that that's working right. The last thing that you're going to need to do for this project, I would recommend that you start from a right view, go to place, go to your automata simulation file, find the ruler, click on the ruler and open it. You're going to bring it in. You're going to notice, just like the cam, it's not turned the way you want it. Before you click it, rotate it 90 degrees. Now you can zoom in, and you want to put it so that the bottom of the ruler lines up right with the axis, and then click it. And again, you can place as many rulers as you want, so click it once, pull away, right click OK, and then go over here to the follower, and you want to highlight the visibility of the bottom of the follower and the top of the follower, and that's going to allow you to read that ruler better. And then for the rest of the project, you're just going to keep changing the angle of the cam. For the hex cam, we do every 30 degrees. For all the other ones, we do every 45 degrees. And then you're going to measure the top, or the bottom, and the top of the ruler, of the follower. All right, hope you got some out of this, and I'll see you later.